I'd like to welcome my special guests who are the members of a team called Ladies Do It Better. Now, they're the team that won the victory in LASERTRON's first ever Battle Royale Squad Adult 18 and Over tournament, and this took place recently at LASERTRON Buffalo. So, ladies, I'd like to welcome you. Could I begin by asking each of you to introduce yourselves by your name and your code name?
All right, my name is Emily, and my code name is Shadow Dragon.
My name's Sheila, and my code name is Mooncalf.
I'm Janine, also known as Six Toes.
And I'm Brooke, also known as Butterlamb 1.
Now, how long have each of you been playing laser tag?
I've been playing for about 3 years now.
I played first when I was like a young teenager and did horribly. And then it was a while since then. And then I started playing out west, which was about 8-9 years ago. And then I took a break for a while. Now I'm back.
And Janine, Brooke, how about you?
We both started around the same time, which I think was like 2-ish years ago.
Yeah, I thought it was not that long, but I think it's probably been about 2 years.
Like 2.5 actually, because we started in April 2 years ago.
Yeah.
A little over 2 years.
Could you tell me a little about the LASERTRON Battle Royale Squad Tournament in Buffalo, how you got involved, and what did you have to do to make it to the finals?
I guess it all started when they first made the Battle Royale format in December of last year. They had a solo tournament. We both played in it. We both placed in the top 5. Sheila got first. I got fourth. And then they decided, with COVID going on for social distancing, to make it a squad one. That way then you spawn in with anyone you came for the reservation. So that way then you're within 6 feet with the people you trust, but not within 6 feet of everybody else in the arena. And we basically live here. So we just kind of text all the time and we're like, hey, you coming? And then we just show up together and we play it. It's great exercise and it's really fun. So, I mean, it's just, we play a lot, practice together a lot.
So I understand there were qualifiers. Were your qualifiers solo events or were you as a squad from the get-go?
So to qualify for it, to finish in the top 28, you could play solo and whoever's the squad captain will win points for their team. You can play together and it still counts. It was kind of broken in the system where, let's say that Sheila ended up coming every single day, all the time, won all the time, got like 300 points, secured top place. She only played by herself to qualify. For the tournament, she could ask any 3 of her friends to join her and just make a team 4.
So, but we typically played together.
Yeah.
I had stopped playing a couple months before COVID started, and then COVID happened and nobody was playing, and I didn't go back to play until the tournament.
So I played a little bit, and then Emily asked if we wanted to be on her squad for the tournament, and so we said yes.
The tournament, it goes on for 30 days. Then they have their final on a Sunday.
When you play, you get points. You get points every time you play, no matter what your score is. But if you do place, your points are obviously higher, and then your points add up. And if you're in the top 2 teams make it to finals. Top 4 teams, semi.
3 and 4 go straight to semi, and 5 through 28 go to quarterfinals. The way Battle Royale works is your team, they spawn together at one of the 15 sectors. Everyone charges up green in the whole arena. Your goal is to eliminate all the other green players on all the other teams. When you get eliminated, you turn into the purple storm. There are 4 rechargers at the ends of the arena. That's where the purple team will spawn in. They have a set number of lives. It usually starts at 3, and based on how long the game's gone for, they can increase. Starting green players are all at 60 across the board. Doesn't matter if you have 4 people or 2 or 1 or 3. Everyone has 60. And you're trying to have at least one person from your team be the last one alive, and that's how you win.
How many squads participated in total, do you know?
28 did qualify. 6 of them showed up the day of. There were 2 teams involved in the quarterfinals, 2 teams involved in the semifinals, and then 4 in the finals.
Now, there was some prize money up for grabs as well, correct?
First place was 500 split 4 ways. Second place was 300 split 4 ways, and third place was 200 split 4 ways.
And then she ended up being storm leader, so she got another like $30 like arcade cash for LASERTRON.
So Storm Leader, once you get, I guess, deactivated,
To lose all your energy.
you lose all your energy units, and then you become Purple Storm, where you can still be an active player, but you have much less energy units. The Storm leader is
yeah.
the highest scoring Purple
Purple
Storm.
Storm, yeah.
Can you tell me a bit about the strategies that you used to be successful?
Every time that, at least with me, that I've played in one of them, I had a strategy ahead of time, and it just did not go according to plan at all. And then in heat of the moment, you just kind of got to change it up. So initially going into it, I said to everyone, I'm like, all right, there were two teams that we knew were going to gun for us in the arena because they always do whenever we are here every night. Turns out that didn't happen. We pinned in one of them at the recharger. And then when they were pinned in by Sheila Brooke and Six Toes, I was like, well, I'm going to watch our back and look for the other teams. So I went to the different side of the arena and tried to take on 3 people at once. And then that didn't work out very well for me because I got turned to Storm. And then when Six Toes came to help me, she also got turned into Storm. But as Sheila always does, she was the anchor and lasted all the way until the end. And then we took out the last one.
Basically, my job to stay alive. I was hang back and stay alive, which I'm decent at.
Janine and Brooke, did you have any strategies going into the games?
One of the strategies that we discussed was 1 or 2 of us purposely becoming Purple Storm in the beginning. So allowing ourselves to be deactivated, because people are looking for the active green players more so than the purple players, because they don't see them as much of a threat because they're easily deactivated and they don't have very many laser pulses. But you can go back and re-energize and get those pulses and the energy units back.
Because you're already Purple Storm, so you're not worried about being tagged or being deactivated.
We like to switch it up. I think when we practice, we always try to practice not with winning in mind, but with a challenge in mind. So if we're playing and it's too easy, like if we're beating everyone, we're like, okay, well, you start a storm, or let's not shoot certain groups of people, or just ways to challenge ourselves so that we can practice for in the arena when we're not sure how it's going to be.
Now, we're in the process of researching whether yours is the first all-female team to win a tournament victory like this. Jim Kessler, the CEO of LASERTRON, tells me he's unaware of it ever happening before, so it is possible that this might actually be something of a first. At the very least, it is quite a rare accomplishment, and it's indeed possible that you might have made history with this in the fact that you were an all-female team to achieve a tournament win like this. So I'd like to know, what are your thoughts about an accomplishment like that?
I mean, I think it's impressive. It's also kind of one of those things where I'm a little surprised that it hasn't been done yet, because I see usually the same amount of women as I do men who are here every single night. And I'm like, how come there hasn't been another team to play in one of these? And then it also hits me where it's like a lot of them, they play, they're not at the same competitive level where they would want to compete in it. I know we might have been the only all-female team. There was another female player who was on the team that came in second. And she was the one where if it was a solo game, she would have came in second overall because it was her against Sheila at the end. And I'm just hoping that at least with us winning, if more people hear about it, maybe it will have more women come in and play more and get more competitive and get to that level of being able to compete and show that, we can compete with the guys at it and be just as good.
The name says it all, ladies.
We play at LASERTRON with a lot of ladies that are very good, like Emily and Sheila and her. Like, there's a lot of ladies that play that are very good. So I was really surprised that it's like the first time that women would have won.
I mean, I didn't even know that LASERTRON was this intense. I thought it was just Barney Stinson that liked it this much. Until, we really started getting into it 2 years ago.
What would you say is really the motivation in trying to field a team like this?
I think a lot of people were shocked when we both placed really well in the solo game, and I didn't expect people to be shocked. But Emily had the great idea, like, well, if we're surprising people, let's show them we can totally do it, and let's build an all-girls team. So she's kind of mastermind, and went from there and worked out.
I don't think it really even occurred to me that it was an all-female team when she asked me to come play, because I saw it as just all really good players.
How do you feel on the whole that women are regarded in the sport and in the arena?
When I first started playing, I kind of couldn't think of a code name, so I chose Mooncalf, and I was originally planning on changing it. But I didn't have my picture. You get a picture with your name, and I didn't have a picture of my face up there, and so people would I would win, and people would be looking for him. They would be talking about Mooncap and trying to find him in the arena because to take him out, because they never expected it would be a girl. And so I thought, I kind of kept the name because of that. People started talking about it and looking, they knew the name, they didn't know the player. And so I think just, trying to prove to people that, just because you assume it's a guy does not mean it.
Everything that I ever really experienced in the arena, if they're a guy, usually a teenager, if they're doing something where it's not working out for them, if you try to help them, they won't listen to you. Someone, Cage, I'll tell someone one thing, Cage will tell them the same thing I said, they'll listen to Cage, they won't listen to me. It's weird to me. And then when I went to Armageddon to mention that to people, everyone was like, who are you playing against? Because the real competitors, they're not like that.
There's been times where I'll catch them saying something about like, oh, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. And I'll be like, check the scoreboard. I'm 6 toes and I'm on the top.
Do you feel sometimes like you're a little underestimated and you can go in and use that to your advantage?
Oh yeah, people don't know who we are.
Oh yeah,
for
absolutely.
Sure.
And when they do know who we are, it's funny. They'll tell everyone else, like, they're over there. Go to that one first. And we're like, hey, Sheila, I think they're coming after us. I don't think we should charge up right away.
Yep.
Even some casual players, if they come back enough and like they see your name up there all the time, or they like, have some sort of encounter with you during the game that they, like remember that you like, I don't know, tagged them out or something, or like you did something really cool that they liked, and it's or, like something that like made you stand out to them. I feel like then they stop that whole, underestimating thing because they realize that they have been.
Did you feel pretty confident about your chances going into this?
Yes and no. I felt less confident when I first got there on the day of the finals. Then when I saw that one of the teams that I thought was the biggest threat only had 2 people instead of 3 or 4, I looked at everyone and I'm like, this might be easier than we expected just because they were the ones that we thought were going to give us the hardest time, and they didn't. They're also the ones out of everyone there would recognize us immediately. And I know when we walked through the door with 4 people, I heard them under their breath be like, wait, there's 4 of them, there's not 2. And I'm like, oh, they didn't think that we were going to come with a full team? What?
We practice so often together, much more often than the other teams do. So we definitely had that advantage. Emily and I just work so well together because we know each other's strategies and how to play when other people are playing a certain way.
I was joking around that I hadn't played in a long time, and I probably, I didn't recognize any of the people that were playing. They were all new to me. You can't be cocky, though. You're not overly confident.
What do you love about the game, and what really motivates you?
It's the competitive streak. It's also good exercise.
For me, what I love about it is it's where I met my boyfriend. We bonded over LASERTRON together. I was coming for the first month, didn't really know anyone other than my brother and his girlfriend at the time. Then I met Will, and it was a thing where the 2 of us really bonded over it. Also for me, LASERTRON is a great stress reliever. At work, I get stressed out. I'm also now not on my feet for 8 hours a day when I'm at work, so I come here so I actually am on my feet a lot, moving around. The other thing that motivates me is I love proving people wrong. So every time I go into the arena and everyone looks and they're like, oh, you're just a solo? There's no way you're going to win. I'm like, oh, just wait and see. I've had numerous people come up to us and be like, oh, wait, it's only 2 of you or 1 of you? Like, that's unfair. Like, we should team up. I'm like, unfair to who?
It's definitely a stress reliever. Because when you just think about strategy and what you're doing, and great exercise. I hate going to gyms, but this, you get your adrenaline up, you get moving, and I think working as part of a team, and just getting to know somebody that well that you can just work together without having to talk about it is pretty cool. Just to be able to have that camaraderie with people.
I have a competitive streak, so that's part of it. Because I like to try and win, obviously. Who doesn't? But I don't know. It's a good challenge, and it's fun, which helps, and then you make friends. So now you know people that are there, and there's a community there that builds through LASERTRON, which is kind of cool. Honestly, it's become like a second home.
I understand that there was a youth tournament that took place as well. So I'd like to know, what advice would you give to younger players?
I think the advice I would give to them is to continue to challenge themselves in the arena. If they're blowing out all the teams because they're playing against other people around the same age, try coming to one of the later sessions that they're able to play against some of the people older, learn what they do, learn the leans, learn how to shoot with their non-dominant hand. I know it's helped me out quite a bit in the arena, especially if they want to stay with it and get to the point of winning in the adult tournaments. Just, you got to keep pushing at it and play with them more.
I totally agree with that.
Watch how people play, because that's how I learned. I never really got advice from other players all that much. I just kind of watched how they were playing and figured out, like, you know, like Mooncat, for example, why could I not hit her Vost? I didn't understand for the longest time until I finally realized that she was angling herself in such a way that I couldn't get my laser pulses to hit her sensors properly, and I kind of started emulating, and so I would always be adjusting my angle. I remember the one day where I finally got the angle right, and then it was, you know, we never looked back since then. We figured out how to play the game a little bit, kind of take a little bit from all of the players that you emulate and kind of make it your own, into your own playing style.
I would just say, you know, always keep challenging yourself. And if you're losing, that's good. It means you're getting better. I mean, I was always the last person chosen in gym class in school. Like, nobody wanted me on their team. And now I'm winning laser tag competitions. You know, just because you don't think you can, just because you're not good at something now doesn't mean you won't be good at it later. And if you want something, work for it. And don't let any stereotypes or ideas of somebody else keep you down. You know how people laugh at me when they say I play competitive laser tag? You know, it's not very common. But it's something that I found that I love.
Well, that's terrific. I'd like to know if there's anything else that you'd like to share about the tournament or your experience as a laser tag player.
Try to have fun whenever you're playing, because if you're getting too stressed out about it, it kind of defeats the purpose of coming. And always help other people out. It's worth losing a game if you can help a new player, you know, figure out what they're doing. Doesn't matter if you're getting shot the entire time. Yes, it's frustrating sometimes, but just, you know, as you help other people, it helps you learn what you're doing, and it can make other people's day. And I don't know, just always try to keep it friendly in the arena. I mean, if somebody's bragging, sure, take them down. But if they're struggling, help them.
To piggyback on that, yeah, it puts a better light on how regulars and members are that come in all the time if you're helping them out, because then they'll look at it like, oh, there are people who are here all the time. They're not here just to destroy everyone. They're here to help out, make sure everyone is doing well. The other thing is, members who are here all the time, unless they're constantly buying food, buying extra sessions, they don't make a lot of money for the company. It's the new people coming in. If they have a good positive experience, they're going to bring more people back. We've already seen enough laser tag places get shut down because of COVID. We don't want LaserTron to be another one.
Well, congratulations again to Team Ladies Do It Better, and thank you for taking some time to talk about your recent victory and the unique achievement that it represents. I appreciate you being here with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.